welcome to Talk of the Town. Brad Taylor has a new book out, just came out last week. It is called The Devil's Ransom, and he has joined us now from Charleston. How are you doing? Congratulations on your, did you say it's your 17th book?
Yeah, my 17th book. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So let's just dive right in, Brad. It's about cybersecurity and ransomware, and kind of give us a hint of the plot.
Yeah, so the idea for the plot came from a company I was researching in Israel called Morrow, and they made a malware package for iPhone and Androids that they were selling to supposed good guys out in the nation states. And the malware itself can turn any kind of cell phone into basically a surveillance device. They can turn on the camera, the microphone, see your texts, hear your calls, geolocate you, see what you're surfing on the web. And it's a zero-click problem set, meaning that there's no social engineering. Usually when you get malware on your computer or your phone, it's somebody sends you a text saying, you got a FedEx package on the way. If you didn't send a FedEx, click this link. But this is zero-click. They can infect it anywhere without the owner being aware. And as I did a study on that threat vector, I ran across ransomware, which is an enormously bad problem because most people don't report it. You hear about it when the Colonial Pipeline gets hit and the gas prices get raised, when hospitals get hit, but only about 20% of people who get hit actually report it because it looks bad for them. So if a bank gets hit with cyberware, with ransomware, they don't want to say, hey, bring your money into my bank. Oh, by the way, the Russians just hacked me. Right. And I thought to myself, if they put in that's social engineering. Somebody clicked on a Google link or something to get that into their systems. And if somebody invented a ransomware malware that was zero-click, we'd really have a problem. And that's where the path started going.
So Brad, how much time do you spend on research as you're preparing for your various novels?
I spend a lot, but usually I spend a lot of time on research just because I'm a security consultant. Yeah. So that's kind of, when I see a story like that, then I start doing a deep dive research on specifics of it. But I mean, I go overseas for the research and that kind of stuff too. So it's a lot of, only about 10% of my research ends up in the book. For instance, the whole research on NRO, it ends up in the book, maybe 3 paragraphs.
So who do you write for, Brad? Who is your audience? Is it mostly military, your special forces? Do you have a love story in your book? I mean, tell us who your audience is.
Yeah, well, the audience is anybody who likes a thriller. It's definitely not jingoistic. You don't have to be in the military. I have about 43% of the readers are female. I have a very strong female protagonist. And there is a little bit of a love interest going on between Pike Logan, my main character, and her, Jennifer Cahill, and they've been in every one of the books from the very beginning.
Okay. And so this book came out last week, I think on the January 24th. Are you working on the next novel?
Yes. Yeah, I'm currently writing book 18 right now.
All right. And can you give us a little hint on what that particular book is about?
It's going to involve Ukraine, which I'm regretting now, but it's going to involve Ukraine. We just did the book research trip for that, went to Denmark, Sweden, Estonia, and Finland. And so I'm now starting to write.
So I've interviewed you before, Brad, and I think I asked you, with your background in the military and, of course, your work at the Citadel, why do you write? I mean, what inspires you to be a writer and a novelist? Why have you kind of gone down this path in your career?
Well, for one, it's probably the perfect job. I can do whatever I want to when I want to. But really, I've always been an incredibly voracious reader my entire life. Okay. And it was just in the back of my head that one day I would write a book. I actually didn't think it would be published. I just assumed I'd write a book and my mom would say, "You're a really good writer." And when it was sold, I decided to give writing a try. I retired from the military and it worked out. Right.
All right. So any other message you want to share with our viewers about this particular book, The Devil's Ransom?
Yeah, actually, if they want to read, if they go to my website at bradtaylorbooks.com, they can read an excerpt of the book and get a flavor for what it's like. Actually, you can read an excerpt of any of my books and get a flavor for what my writing's like.
All right, best-selling author Brad Taylor.